I hope my audio and video is clear. If you have any issues with audio and video, you can just comment. Uh, So very soon, our guest for this session, Shubham Rekulwar, IRS, will join. And this session is going to be very important because I know the last few days before the prelims is going to be very tough, especially for those who are preparing for UPSC for many years and those who are failing again and again. This time is going to be very tough. And sometimes because of emotional things, we get confused on how to manage these days. So for that reason, I thought like we can bring a wonderful session with someone who cleared prelims several times. So I mean, I should say all the times he has given prelim, and he has given, yeah. So Sir has joined. Hello Shivam,
Hello, Rajinikanth. How are you? How are you,
I'm
bro?
good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How's your weekend?
Just like normal, like weekdays, busy with
Right.
mentorship and all.
Great. Great. Prelims
Yeah.
is nearby now. It's just
Yeah.
20 days. Odd. 20 odd days.
Yes. So I
Yeah.
thought he someone who, who was into this preparation for many years, who has seen so many failures, ups and downs, would be the best person to guide, at these tough times. So I thought you would be the right person. So thanks for joining me for this session.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. Yeah.
Yeah. So how's your training going on?
It's good. It's good. A little hectic, but it's good overall. So Saturday,
Yeah.
Sunday are free. So that's why I said ki Saturday would be a good time to have this. Yeah.
Yeah. Think how it feels after many years of struggle, so many ups and downs, finally into service. How does it feel?
It feels like everything makes sense suddenly because now it's almost 1 year, so I lost that feel, the initial feel which we get immediately after the result. It was a totally different feeling because you have also been there, you have seen that journey, and you have also seen the like how it feels after the result. So uh, yeah, like it feels like a worthy struggle in the end.
Of course. I mean, this is UPS is the only stage, only platform. I feel ki whatever you like, if you work really hard, and definitely the returns will be very high.
Exactly, and irrespective of the result, like even if you don't clear the exam,
Yes.
so the journey itself, what you learn and what you become, I think that is more important gift of this UPSC preparation rather than the result itself.
Yes, and one best thing I like about UPSC, it makes you very humble, especially when you are into this preparation for many years, irrespective of the service and all, you become so humble, down to earth, and you started treating everybody so nice. I think before preparation and after preparation, I could see myself a different person. So that is the best thing I could gain from this UPSC preparation. And I could see you also being very humble every time we talk, and very every time you interact with anybody. That shows that kind of that good good kind of things we have learned in this journey.
Exactly, because see, in this preparation, we see a lot of failures, and when we see another person, we'll be able to relate with them. Like, so because of this journey, we become more empathetic. We try to understand other person's situation because we have been there at some point, right? So
Yeah.
that I think that is something which makes us humble, like the preparation. That's the best thing about this preparation. You change as a person,
Yes.
right? Yeah.
I think there's some disturbances with your video. Just last students, whether you are able to see you clearly. Can you see Shubham sir clearly? Is any issues with his video? Let me know. You can just comment if you have any issues with sir's videos. Yeah, I think there's lag in your video. It's clear? No issues? Right. Sorry, it is very clear. Just
Okay.
right. I think from my side. Is my video clear? Right. Yes, Shubham.
Yeah.
So I think just the few days left for this prelims examination, and people are, this period. So what is your take? Like, how should we manage these days? How you used to manage these days before this examination?
See, basically, what's the date of the prelims? 20,
25, I think.
right?
25.
So we have around 20 days, right?
Yes,
So first and the most important thing is your mindset during these 20 days, because we have come here after, maybe some are preparing for at least 1 year, some are preparing for 2 years, and prelim specific preparation people have started 3 to 4 months back. So what we study or do not study in these 20 days will not really make a difference. What makes difference is how your mindset is in these 20 days, right? Because
absolutely.
some of the time suddenly there is just 15 days for the exam. Suddenly their thought comes that this particular topic, for example, medieval history. Arey, I did not study that entire topic. What if four questions come from it? That kind of negative thoughts come into your mind, and that spoils your entire day. So, and sometimes you see someone who has done 50 or 60 test papers, and suddenly you feel ki, oh, I have focused more on revising. I did not do as many tests. So again, my 1 year will be wasted. Like, these kinds of thoughts just come into your mind, especially in the last 15, 20 days, that spoil your entire day. So most
Absolutely.
important thing during this 20 last 1 month is to keep your mind positive and just believe in whatever you are doing till now. Just believe in the process, because there is no single process to clear this prelims. Everyone has, some people go with 50 mock tests, some people 60. So it is an individualistic type of preparation for every single person. So first and most important thing, believe in whatever you have been doing right till today, right? That is most important thing. That will give you confidence and peace of mind, so that you remain positive for the next 20 days, right? So mindset is
Yes.
the most important thing.
Yes.
And secondly, with coming to revision, again, in revision there are different kinds of revision. Firstly, some people have their own notes to quickly revise the things. So revising your own notes is one thing. Secondly, some people have this test series. Either it is a test series of any institute or previous year questions. That is also a good way to revise, because your entire syllabus gets revised in 1 or 2 or 3 hours. Because when you solve a question paper of full length, your entire syllabus is getting revised, right? You can identify the specific gaps. For example, there's a question from the core polity which you are not able to attempt. You can just go back to that one particular section and study it and come back. You don't have to revise the entire thing, right? So this is a way where you can identify your gaps and go back to preparation. These are the two basic things regarding revision of the core subjects of your prelims: polity, modern history, geography, and economics. These are the core static part, right? And apart from that, we have the current affairs. For current affairs, whatever you have been doing till now, whether it's magazine of any institute or you have habit of making your own notes of newspaper, whatever it is, stick to it. Now, at this point, you should not change your source, whether it's newspaper or static or anything. Do not change at this point of time. Whatever you have been doing, whether it's current affairs or your regular class notes for the GS topics, just revise the same material, revise the same thing. Do not go for a new material or any new magazine at this point of time. Just revise your own earlier things.
Yes. Yeah, Shubham, for me, I'm unable to see you clearly. Can you just exit and can you join again?
Sure, sure, sure.
Yes. Sorry for the inconvenience. I'm unable to see so properly here. Maybe we'll join again. So I think that whatever sir is saying, I think that is a very, the very important part of these few days because people tend to read, new content They are worried. They feel that this is more about knowledge game. Yeah, visible again, but I don't know. It's fine. We'll continue like this only. Right. It's visible, but
Uh-huh.
yeah, it's fine now. Yeah. So that is what. So few things sir said that mindset is very important. That don't have any kind of stress, anxiety. Of course, forget about the result, whether the question comes or not. Whatever you have read, that will there or not, doesn't matter now. Right? It's over now. You have read it for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, right? And be confident. The second is confidence. Go with confidence, right? And third is that don't read new content. And that is very, very important. With many students, even I did the same mistake in my first, second attempt, serious attempts. I used to think that I have to read more and more content. I used to feel, okay, something is lagging. So that is generally there. Okay, something is missing. We see so many materials coming up. Institutions will release these revision materials, these, that, current affairs magazines will be there. No, don't run. It's over. It's more about revision.
Right.
Yes. So what else, like, what students should do to manage, especially to manage their stress and anxiety? What do you suggest them for the next 20 days?
See, apart from doing the revision of whatever you have, like we generally have plan on what to do with respect to revision, allot some time for revision every day. Like one part should be revision of your static portion. Second is the revision of the current affairs. And third part is you should solve at least one paper every single day till the prelims date. That will tune in your mind to solve the questions, right? You can solve the previous year's question paper or you can solve any institute's question paper, but solve the entire 100 question set. Do not solve 10 or 20 questions, but solve entire 100 question set. That will tune in your mind, right? That is more important. And after that 30 to 40 minutes or even 1 hour, you can just relax, do something that is not related with preparation, that will make your mindset positive, right? Because when you are stressed, we try to overcome that stress by maybe browsing YouTube or social media. That will consume more time. So rather than that, what we can do is take 30 to 40 minutes in the evening where you can relax, you can go for a walk, you can listen to music, or you can meditate or whatever. That will relax your mind and you can recharge and come back again to for your study. This is something you can do
Yeah.
to be
So I think
positive.
this is also very important. Do something to come out of this UPSC, preparation. Just to, again, not completely out of this UPSC momentum.
Right.
Just for few minutes, few hours, just come out of that. Make your mind relax. Watch whatever YouTube or whatever you want to do it. But again, don't think, like, overthinking will not help you. Whatever, see, whether
Right.
if you think too much or whether you don't think also, whatever the result has to happen, it will happen. That we have seen in this all
Exactly.
these years. Whatever we expected, sometimes less it happens, sometimes more it happens. So don't think, just go blindly. You be confident. Of course, if you have studied well and be smart, that is what the smart work is about. Revision. Don't read unnecessary content. These things you have to do. And blindly again following your unnecessary things, it won't give you good results, right? So I think this 25 days. So these things, if you can follow, that relax your mind, and whatever Sir said, you can practice, with the PYQ papers, just to being in that momentum and to know how to solve that questions, to not to have that anxiety while solving the questions in the final examination day. You can do that and just revise whatever you have read. Right. Just revision is the key. I'm telling you, more than new things. It's all about revision. It's for even if for mains also. We have tried this, reading new content, but that did not give us good results. But when we read that whatever the old content, at least we could present it in the final examination. Right.
Correct.
Yeah. Along with that, I would also suggest that you just go through NCERTs. NCERTs are very good source for this polity, geography, history. Many questions, at least 10 to 15 questions. Very easy questions can be expected from these NCERTs. Just revise them, right? And what are the standard books you have read? Again, stick to that. Revise them properly. And I think many a times I told you to make these PYQ themes. What are the PYQ themes? From those PYQ themes only questions, new questions will be asked from the theme. Same theme will be there. Questions can be different. For example, that bond, I keep saying bonds. Many a time there was a question on bond, but if you know the bond chapter, whatever the types of bonds and interest rates, whatever the things are there, just have clarity. Clarity is more important. So what do you say, Shubham? What about this clarity? Generally people read too much content, but they lack this clarity.
Exactly, because if you look at the UPSC paper, right, because the coaching institutes paper and the options they frame can be random or have no logic sometimes. But when you look at the UPSC question paper and the options you see now, if you have a good understanding of the basics, if you have a good understanding of the NCERTs which you are talking about, you can easily solve the question even if you don't know the answer directly. From the knowledge of your basic understanding you can solve the question, right? So this is very important. For this what you can do is 1 week before the actual prelims, every day what I used to do is every day I used to pick one PYQ. I used to solve the entire question paper. Like the PYQs we have already done theme wise, we solved during preparation, right? But solving the entire paper of 100 questions in one go will tune in your mind differently. And especially 1 week before your actual prelims paper, do not go for any coaching institute paper, but go for UPSC paper, because there the options are very very logical. So from your basic knowledge only you can solve the paper. For example, last 1 or 2 years before, there was a question on, there were names of the places and there were rivers, right?
Yes.
So Ajanta was a place and there was a river. There is
Yes.
one more place, one more river. So I did not have any idea of which river is passing through that places. But when I looked at the options, all the options were the World Heritage Sites. Right.
Yes.
So when you look at the World Heritage Sites, you have a rough idea on which World Heritage Site is at which part of the, like we roughly know where Ajanta lies in Indian map, right? So we
Yes.
roughly know where Bhimbetka caves like on the Indian map. So when we apply that mind, and then when I connected whatever knowledge I had about the different positions of the river, like major rivers, whether Godavari or Narmada, if you know the trajectory, when I applied the knowledge of the rivers and when I applied the knowledge of the World Heritage Sites location, I got the answer automatically. So for this application of mind inside the exam, you should be very stress free, right? This is
True.
very important. So how you manage those 2 hours is also very important. This is
True.
also
True.
something we need to simulate outside, right? How you're going to do in these 2 hours, that you have to practice here itself. Then only you'll be able to manage those 2 hours, because many of the times what happens is sometimes people forget bubble because they put so much of time in solving the paper, they don't bubble it properly, and if one bubble goes wrong, everything can go wrong, right? So how you are going, when you are going to bubble, when you are going to attempt which question, everything should be planned and practiced beforehand.
True.
This is something we should do,
Yeah.
and that
So
will make
I'm
a difference, or at least 5 to 10 marks. Because when you are under stress now, because of this stress, only 5 or 10 marks can go here and there, and that will make the entire difference.
So, so I just wanted to repeat what Sir has said. These two things you and every student must note down that few days before the examination, don't touch any institute test series. Better solve 24 or 23, the near one, the recent PYQ paper, so that you have that the question paper, the kind of questions asked, the kind of options given will be in your mind, so that whenever you go to this final examination, you don't have that won't look new. First of all, it won't be a new paper to you. So do this exercise that 1 week, 10 days before that, solve 2, 3 PYQs paper. First thing. Second thing is that whatever you feel you wanted to implement in the final examination, just beforehand you implement all those things. Especially, I ask people to go and attempt vision abhyas, because abhyas they conduct in these centers. Because especially in the summer, for I was giving 1 2 attempts in Delhi, so the temperature used to be very high.
Very
So
hard.
just to acclimatize with the temperature, weather, and all this stress, I used to attempt 2 3 abhyas papers, and whatever I wanted to implement, I used to implement in the this abhyas paper only. So even if you do not give abhyas paper, just sit like the final examination paper. on a table 2 hours, like sir also said, like complete paper 2 hours, and implement whatever you prepared for this exam, this year paper. For example, you may have plans last year, you may have done some mistakes, right? You wanted to overcome distance, you must have planned already. You implement all those planned things 1 week, 10 days before this examination, so that you get an idea. Okay, you're going well. If not, you're not going well. Try to talk to seniors. Don't get stressed. Even if it is 1 week before the exam, don't. Right? Nothing is going to happen. And one more thing, so I said that that day will decide. That 5 to 10 marks on that day will matter, right? So even if you're not doing well, don't worry. Things will go well. Believe in this, God, and believe in yourself. Things once you're really working hard, if you are smart, you will clear it. And stop forgetting about results. That will not give you any help, especially CSAT. Like this stress will matter, especially with the CSAT also.
Exactly.
Sometimes
Exactly.
last 3 years, CSAT was so tough, and those arts background people were literally shocked. So, but however, I was also from arts background, but I did not even think of this stress and all. Just started doing whatever I planned. I used to plan very nicely because I know there will be 27 passages. I know I will have to attempt this 27 passages at any cost, and I know the time 40 to 45 minutes I used to keep. So, see, be stress free. I'm telling you, the toughest CSAT papers I could clear. I'm saying I'm not very good at maths because I left my maths at 10th class only. After that, I was into arts, I was into teaching field, social studies, and all. But however, just avoid stress. I could, because lack of stress only, I could clear CSAT, I should say, more than knowledge and all. So these things, again, I'm telling you, don't run after this content, too much content, too many test series, random books, random materials,
Right.
and thinking about results, what will happen, what happens if I don't clear, what my parents will think, what my friends will think. This is generally there before this examination. All this will come to your
Exactly.
mind. Or either you will say, okay, I'll clear mains and I'll go to Lavasana. You will have all these thoughts before this examination. Generally, it will come to your mind. Stop doing it, right? Stay calm. Just be calm. You can just see sir composure. He will be like that, like just calm, compose, and that will matter a lot. And as an officer,
Right.
you can just, you will be a better officer if you have that calm and composure with you, right? Yeah. So what else, Shubham? Like, what else do you want to suggest students?
One thing regarding mindset, I'll give an example. I think last year, when 1 week before the prelims, I picked up an institute's question paper. I solved it. I just got around 70 marks or something. It was just 1 week before the prelims. I was so afraid ki I got just 70 here. How can I clear? Then I told myself ki I did preparation for last 3 to 4 months, and I know what, like, I know how I prepared. So I told myself this one question paper will not determine whether I prepared properly or not. So I left that, and I did not solve any new paper in the last 7 days. I just picked up one or two PYQs of UPSC. I just solved them to boost my confidence. I did not pick any new coaching institute's question paper because I I knew, because if I get less marks in that, my mind can get negative thoughts. So I just was calm. I was believing and trusting in the process itself, because I knew the whatever I have been doing for the last 3 4 months for the preparation was on track. So I knew I'll be able to clear it. I don't have to worry about one coaching institute's paper. So that mindset is very important. That helped me to calm my mind. And when I went to the paper and when I saw in the first 30 minutes itself, I realized ki my decision was right, because I was positive for those 7 days, and that helped me to attempt the paper with proper application of mind. This is very important, because inside the exam hall now, there are around 25 to 30 questions which are direct, like which you can attempt directly looking at the question and the answer. After that, no matter how well you are prepared, around 25 to 30 questions, you have to apply your mind inside the exam hall. These are not just memory based, but these are conceptual questions where you have to keep your mind open and sharp. For that, having peace of mind is very important. Having a calm mind inside the hall is, like, very important, especially for CSAT, because CSAT is everything. It's application of mind. There is nothing memory based, right? So you have to cut your brain after paper one. You just have to go and have some light food and come back for CSAT preparation. In between the break, if you want to just have a look at the previous year solved question paper, there would be some videos. I used to watch some video of solved question paper of last year of CSAT. that will just tune in my mind for some using of formula or something. Or if you already have some set of formula to revise, just revise that and go with calm mind. Do not think about paper one inside the CSAT, because immediately after the exam, we are really not able to judge what the question paper level was, what would be the cutoff. So unnecessarily, if you keep worrying about it now, that will hamper your CSAT. And the worst case can be where you clear your paper one, but your CSAT goes bad. So that should not happen. And secondly, I'll just tell how I used to manage those 2 hours inside the exam hall, which actually helped me because I have given like all the prelims I was able to clear because inside the exam hall, how I managed every single thing, I planned it beforehand only, right? So when you get the question paper, first thing is once you check the question paper, and after that, from question number one, start go to till question number 10. Question number 100, 1 to 100, just go for first iteration. I used to have 3 iterations of reading the entire question paper in those 2 hours. So in the first iteration, what I do is from 1 to 100, whatever questions for which I know the answer in the first go, like I am able to get the answer directly where I know the answer. I just mark answer on the question paper itself, right? I use bubble at that time. First, when 1 to 100 questions are done, when you do this first iteration, you will identify 3 kinds of questions. Type 1, where you know the answer. You know what option is the right answer. You mark that option in the question paper itself. If the option is C, you mark that on the question paper. If the option is, you mark on the question paper. And there is type 2 of the question where you do not have any clue or the question. You don't even know the topic. You are totally disconnected with that question. These kind of questions are hardly 6 or 7. These are single digit question only. Like you don't have more than 10 this kind of questions where you have no knowledge. So there is no point of wasting time on these kind of questions, right? Mark this question as cross so that you will not come back again to that question. So you will save your time. This will you will do in first iteration, which will, let's say, takes around maybe 70 or 80 minutes. So in this 70 or 80 minutes, you will finish the entire paper 1 to 100, where you segregated the answers you know, and you segregated the questions you do not have any knowledge. And there is type 3 of the question where you are able to eliminate 1 or 2 options, right? So mark a different kind of indication on those questions, and also cancel the options which you know surely is, for example, question number 3, you know option D is not the answer. So cancel option D. So you have, so when you come back to question number 3 next time, you just have to read the option 3 options only. So one option you eliminated. So this you will have some, for some questions you eliminate 1 option, for some questions you eliminate 2 options. So have a different kind of indication for these questions. So when you do this first iteration, let's say there are around 30 questions for which you got the answer. Now bubble these 30 questions in one go. Okay. So major portion is sorted. Now what you do is identify all those questions where you have eliminated 2 options, right? So here you have to pick a question, and that's the only time you're going to attempt that question. Like for example, question number 7, you have eliminated 2 options, and after first iteration, you have come back here again. Now you don't waste your time. Whatever intuition or whatever logic you are applying, apply that logic, choose one of the remaining options and attempt it. And if you decide not to attempt it, just cross it and move away. The point is, you should not spend much more time on single question, right? Whether you attempt or you do not attempt does not matter. The decision to attempt or not to attempt should be taken in a fast manner, because let's say if you have spent 4 minutes on one question, there is no point. Even if you attempt that question after 4 minutes, let's say it's right, then it's okay. What if it goes wrong? That 4 minutes you could have spent on other question, right? So this is very important. You should not waste much more time, because when you are really worried upon 2 options, whether C or D, where you are not able to decide, just pick one option based on your intuition, mark it and move ahead. So in this second iteration, whatever questions you get the answer, bubble those answers immediately in the question paper. Okay. So, and parallelly have a count of, because in first iteration, whatever number of answers you have bubbled, have a count in your question paper. For example, 35 you have attempted. So whenever you bubble a new answer in the second iteration, add one to it so that you have a number, you have a, in your mind, you have an idea of how many answers you have attempted. Because what happens is, in the last 10 minutes, you do all these things. Someone is counting how many I have attempted, someone is counting how many I have left. That will spoil your time in the last 10 minutes, and the last 10 to 15 minutes is the most important part of your these 2 hours. Okay? So when you are going like this, you will, and what happens in this first iteration is, you will get an idea of the difficulty level of the question paper, right? Whether it's moderate level, whether it's very difficult, whether it's easy, you will get an idea. And based on that idea, you will get an estimation of how many questions you should attempt, right? Whether it's 85, whether it's 90, or whether it's 80, that you will get an idea in this first iteration. And again, these, what is your optimal number of attempts, whether it's 80 questions or 90 questions, this also you should do outside exam hall only. When you do these mock papers, right? Of coaching institutes or UPSC PYQ, just identify what is the optimal level, like what is your optimal number of questions, which will give you a positive result, right? So because this in second iteration, in generally you have those questions where you have eliminated two options. So it's easy to get accuracy level better. But let's say after the second iteration, only 60 questions are done. You need to attempt at least 20 more. For that, you have only those questions where you have eliminated one option. Now you have three options for this question. Here, like here you need to, in this in the third iteration, what you need to do is you need to identify like what used to do is, I used to club the questions. For example, there are four questions for which I have eliminated one option, one option, one option, one option. So I used to apply some logic in these four questions and attempt this. So my idea is, even if one or two questions go wrong, it's okay. But the net of these four questions should be positive, right? This again you can't do directly in the exam hall. This you have to practice outside. Then you will get to know key what is this
Yeah.
probability of you getting a net positive.
Yes.
This when you will do now, you will reach 80 to 85 question aram se, and you will be able to make through the paper. This is important.
Yeah, like I think very good explanation. I'll just repeat, I'll just concise whatever sir has said for the people who are joining again in the video. So first thing is that don't discuss about the paper. On the examination day, once you're done with the GS paper, just calm and have light food and just go through CSAT PYQs on YouTube videos or the formulas or whatever you prepared for CSAT examination, and forget about discussing about this GS paper, whether it was tough, whether you made it right, wrong, whatever. So don't discuss, don't waste time. See, you prepared for this examination for 1 year, and we want to waste that 1 hour unnecessary time on discussing which won't be give you anything, right? So just think that and don't discuss and just stay calm. Don't be in groups, because once you are in any group, they'll start discussing. One person will bring one query. This question I made it right. Then you feel no, I failed. I did it wrong, or you made it right. The other person did it wrong. So all this unnecessary discussion you avoid. Right. First thing is that on the examination day, once after the GS paper, have light food and start looking for the formulas. Just practice the alphabets. Even you know the see, before the examination only, there are certain type of questions will ask in CSAT paper. You go and see every year that kind of questions are there, like alphabet series, this number system and all. So practice these questions once before this examination, 1 hour before that, right? First thing is that. Second thing, sir said that iterations are very important. People get stuck with one question and waste a lot of time. Like one of my roommate, he spent 10 minutes on one question. I'm like, how can you do 10 minutes on one question? You cannot do that. Whether you don't take ego here, no ego, nothing. Be smart. Whatever sir said, three iteration first. Quickly go through. Even many of the rankers, like average 70-80% of the rankers do the same thing. First, they go through first 100 questions, 1 to 100 questions. Whatever they know, first 20 to 30 questions will be there. Around say, like easily you can attempt. You're done with that. Then second iteration, you will have questions where you know one or two options, right? And also you just eliminate those questions. There are 7 to 10 questions which you shouldn't attempt. Unnecessary, you avoid them. Don't even waste time on that. Whatever sir said, right? See, these things, if you follow, I think you can increase your probability of clearing this examination. We cannot guarantee, but your probability will increase. Follow these steps. because we all followed and we have seen. Sir has seen that result seven times. All the attempts he has given, he could clear prelims with this strategy. And when I followed this strategy in the like 4 times I cleared CSAT, 4 times I cleared GS in my 5 serious attempts. Right, my strategy was also worked. Only once I couldn't clear more the papers. Otherwise, I was clearing. Right. Then the one more thing, the one more point you have mentioned,
Bubbling,
um,
bubbling on time,
bubbling,
right?
bubbling mistake. Please don't do that. That is one of my friends has done that. All these things I've seen. So be careful with bubbling. Even that your rule number, just just whatever number. Just be careful while bubbling every number, right? So I think these are very important aspects which everyone should follow, right, irrespective of whether you're prepared or not. But again, check all these things you just check before this examination in any test series or something. Apply all your logics, apply all these things, right? Don't go for the final examination, right? So I think we'll keep this session short. I think, and if possible,
Yes,
after prelims also, I'll request sir to come and guide for the mains, the strategies and all, right? And thank you, Shubham. I hope you have a great, time in your academy.
yes,
And I
yes,
think
Raj.
it was out of like through after a long struggle you have got into the service. So I hope you enjoy the service. You keep
Thank you.
spreading the positive vibes. You do that every time. So I wish we keep interacting. Whenever we get a
Yes,
chance, I'll inform you. And if you whenever you have time, just come to us, enlighten the students with your vast experience. Right? Thank you so much. And any last note to students here?
same thing. The one thing which we started with, that is mindset, is the most important thing. This 20 days, and most importantly those 2 hours. Is the only thing. And second is believe in yourself, believe in whatever you have been doing till now, and managing those 2 hours is very important. That will make a difference of, even if 4 to 5 questions, if you are able to do it because of your good strategy or good management of time in that 2 hours, that will take you on the other side, right? That is more important. And rest, like, you have been doing this, and like, this is this is what you have been doing, and you are the better guide. So thank you for having me here also. So it's great to interact with you like this.
No, thank you so much for giving us time. Uh, Okay, guys, thank you so much for patiently listening to us. I think whatever we said, I think it comes out of experience, and this is not only our strategy; it is an average strategy of all the rankers, right? What we are saying out of experience and out of our own results and out of other people who have successfully cleared this examination. Hope you benefit from this session, and the next session also will try to bring with a few more rankers who will share their experience with you. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rajinikanth. Bye.